Hi, boys and girls. Before we go into our new topics for this week, I just created a little anchor chart to help us see um, or to remind us about our rounding rules. So, if you see, I have a little rounding roller coaster. You see our numbers 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5 are all going up the roller coaster because when we see those numbers, if we're looking at those numbers to help us round, if we see 5 or above, we go up. And if you see 4 or below, like you see our 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, you keep it the same, or you could say you round it down. So if I ask you to look at this number 793, so I see 793. If I ask you to round to the nearest hundredths place, I know that the 7 is in my hundredths place. So I want to look at the number in front, or you could say behind it. So I want to look at my 9. Now looking at my 9, am I going to round up? Am I going to take my 7 to an 8? Or am I going to keep it down at a 7? So I see my 9 is over on my up side of my roller coaster. So over here it's in red and it says round up. So I know that when I look at this number, I'm going to round 7 up to 8 because of the 9. So it would be rounding up to 800. There is going to be some problems asking you to do rounding. So if you need to have this anchor chart there to help you, you are more than welcome to have it out. If you would like to print it out, you can. I'll attach it as just an individual poster. And then let's look at our 223. Now I'm going to ask you to round to your tens place. So if I want to round to the nearest tens place, I have to find what's in my tens place, right? So my 2 is in my tens place. And remember, we look back and we want to decide, is the 3 going to take us up or is it going to keep us where we're at? Or you could say round down. So I see my 3 on the downside of my roller coaster. So I know that we're going to keep everything the same besides the 3. So since we are rounding to our tens place, our hundreds place always stays the same. Our tens place, that's the one we have to decide if we are changing. But since our 3 is rounding down, we're going to keep it at a 2. And our 3 becomes a 0. Now, if we wanted to round to our nearest hundreds place, then we would have to look for if we're rounding for our hundreds place, we would have to look at our 2. So if I wanted to decide if my 100 was going up or going down, we would look at the tens place. And we could see that that is also a 2. So we would look for our 2. We see it over on round down. So if we were rounding to the nearest 100, it would be just 200. We would keep it the same because the 2 rounds us down or keeps us the same. So this is our little rounding roller coaster to help us for our multiplication problems when it asks us to round or estimate. I know some of us were having a little bit of trouble, so in our small group, we will still be practicing this, and you're more than welcome to use our rounding roller coaster whenever you need to.